Okay, good. Okay, beta. So let's start with our continuation of our Mahabharata stories. बेटा लास्ट बार हम लोग ने कृष्ण लॉर्ड कृष्णा के बारे में सब कुछ पढ़ा था. And now you will see the role that the Krishna will play in the Mahabharata story. Okay, beta. And in our today's class, in the part 7 of our Mahabharat Katha today, we will continue with the stories covering that now that the Pandavas return back to Hastinapur. You remember that the Pandavas, their palace was set fire and they had to escape, right? And now that Arjun is married to the Draupadi, and Draupadi is the princess of king of Drupad. Okay, so which means that now they are actually the son-in-law of the king himself. Okay, so they will return back to Hastinapur. And वो बेटा हस्तिनापुर क्यों लौटेंगे? क्योंकि they want to take back their rightful claim on the throne of Hastinapur. Okay, we will talk about it. That other topic which we'll discuss today was in establishment of Indraprasth. इंद्रप्रस्थ का बनना और कैसे बना और उसके पीछे की क्या स्टोरी थी, और अर्जुन की शादी सुभद्रा के साथ, देन गया, स्टोरी ऑफ गया एंड व्हाट हैपेंड विद दैट, देन द डेथ एंड वध of Jarasandh and Shishupal Vadh, and then the gambling game. Okay, so those are very important topics for today's what we want to discuss, and all of these stories are very relevant beta, okay, for Mahabharata story. Okay, so let's start today. Okay, तो आपको बेटा ये याद है ना कि जब पांचों पांडव थे और उनकी जो मदर थी कुंती, वो जब वो वहां पे पैलेस में अपने रह रहे थे तो उनके पैलेस में आग लगा दिया गया था, राइट? एंड दे एस्केप्ड थ्रू द अंडरग्राउंड टनल. रिमेंबर दैट? सर्वांग, बिट्टू, यू रिमेंबर दैट बेटा? आर्यन, यू रिमेंबर? हम लोगों ने बैक 2 क्लासेस पहले की थी. ओके, और बेटा फिर वो लोग जंगली में रहने लगे थे बिकॉज दे डोंट वांट टू गेट आइडेंटिफाइड बाय पीपल. ओके, and they were waiting for the right time to come back to Hastinapur, and the right time has come now. Why? Because now they have Draupadi, who Arjuna has already married, and all the brothers married Draupadi. Then the story which we already talked about. And Draupadi was the daughter of king of Drupad. So now they were like son-in-law of the king himself. Okay, and second, now Krishna is also with them. So Krishna. Hello beta, can you hear my voice? Okay, good. Yes. Okay beta, तो हम लोग कंटिन्यू कर रहे हैं बेटा यहाँ से स्टोरी. We just started. And the first story is about the Pandavas. They returned back to Hastinapur. Okay, they returned back to their own home. So Krishna advised Pandavas, and Krishna is the elder cousin of all the Pandavas. So he advised them that now this is the right time for you to return back to Hastinapur. And they were living incognito. Now they can reveal their identity, which means कि अभी वो लोग छुप छुप के रह रहे थे. वो किसी को ये पता नहीं चलने दे रहे थे कि वो लोग पांडव हैं और वो कुंती हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि उनके ऊपर फिर दूसरे अटैक भी हो सकते थे दुर्योधन के तरफ से. ओके, इसलिए अब वो डायरेक्ट हस्तिनापुर चले गए. ओके, और वहां पे उन्होंने बताया कि हम लोग सब सेफ हैं, एंड वी एस्केप्ड द फायर एंड वी हैव केम बैक टू क्लेम the throne of Hastinapur. Okay. So now that they came back, everybody was very surprised, and they came back with Krishna and Draupadi as the new addition to the family. Okay. And now the discussion is started that Dhritarashtra should give the throne back to Yudhishthir. Okay, because now Yudhishthir is back and he is the rightful owner, the rightful heir of the throne. Okay, so Dhritarashtra knows that Duryodhan won't let that happen. Okay, because Duryodhan always considered himself as the rightful king after Dhritarashtra himself. So he won't let that happen. So Dhritarashtra said, he talked to Yudhishthir and Krishna, और उन्होंने बोला कि आप दुर्योधन को राजा बन जाने दो, बिकॉज दुर्योधन आपको कभी राजा एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगा, इसलिए आप उनको राजा बन जाने दो, एंड यू कैन लिव अंडर दुर्योधन. But they rejected that proposal. Okay, so and obviously they will reject it, because if they are going to be the king, and if somebody come and tell them that you cannot be the king, let your younger brother be the king, whom they always hated, each other, so they won't accept to that proposal. Okay, तो वो क्या हुआ, फिर कृष्णा ने बोला कि आप ऐसा करिए, आपका जो पूरा हस्तिनापुर है आप उसको 2 भागों में बांट दीजिए. ठीक है, एक भाग में दुर्योधन कैन बी द किंग, लाइक धृतराष्ट्र विल बी द किंग, एंड आफ्टर दैट दुर्योधन विल बी द किंग, एंड ऑन द सेकंड पार्ट युधिष्ठिर कैन बी द किंग. ओके, so Bhishma and Kripacharya and all the other seniors were consulted, and there was no other way that they can maintain the peace in the kingdom. And then with Dhritarashtra, he agreed to divide the kingdom, give half of the kingdom to Yudhishthir and the other half to the Duryodhan. Okay, so जो पार्ट बेटा युधिष्ठिर को मिला था उसका नाम था खांडव प्रस्थ. ओके, और जो खांडव प्रस्थ जो नाम था वो पूरा जंगल का एरिया था. इट वाज अ कंप्लीट जंगल एरिया, एंड all the brothers, they have to clean the jungle, and before they can set up their kingdom over there for their whole life. So doing that would mean that a lot of उनको पूरा जंगल क्लीन करने का मतलब ये था बेटा कि बहुत सारे पेड़, बहुत सारे एनिमल्स को रिलोकेट करना पड़ता, वो डाई हो जाते. बर्ड्स, एंड्स, टाइगर्स, डियर्स, parrots, everything, like all the natural animals, the natural birds, shrubs, everything which are in that area. But they had no other option. They have to burn the complete land to set up their kingdom. और वहां पे नागास का बहुत बड़ा वो घर था, जो इंद्रप्रस्थ, जो खांडव प्रस्थ जो जगह थी, वो नागास का होम था. And thousands and thousands of nagas, they were burned because the land needed to be cleared to set up the new palace. Okay, and यही एक रीजन था बेटा. जब हम लोग ने महाभारत की स्टोरी स्टार्ट की थी तो आपको याद होगा कि वहां पे एक नाग ने जो शांतनु थे उनको डस लिया था. ओके, शांतनु को उन्होंने डसा था, आपको याद है हम लोगों ने जब स्टार्ट किया था महाभारत की स्टोरी. सो दैट वाज द रिवेंज फॉर दिस लैंड व्हिच वाज क्लियर्ड. ओके, and all the animals, all the florals, like thousands and thousands of hectares were burned to clear the land and to set up the new palace for the new king. Okay, they have to actually set up a whole new city. Okay, anyways, so that is the reason that the Nagas, they took their revenge later on. Okay, so thousands of Nagas were burned, and Krishna said to Arjun that you have to take the moral responsibility of the decisions that you have taken, Arjun. Okay, because you wanted your brother to be the king, and your brother needs a new city and a new palace. So all the animals who are being killed, you need to kill them so that they do not come back and ask for their ownership. Now you are the new owner, and being as the new owner of the land, you need to make sure that nobody comes back asking for their home. And that's why all the animals were killed at that time. Okay, okay, anyways, so इंद्रप्रस्थ बेटा जब बन रहा था तो वहां पर एक Maya, because Maya was involved in building of that city. Maya means illusion. Okay, and illusion has helped Arjun to make the new palace. The new palace was so beautiful that you can see it over here. It was built out of like a white castle, where it becomes very difficult to say कि आगे आपके बेटा दीवार है या पानी गिर रहा है, या ये कह पाना बहुत कठिन था कि वो जो आगे जो कासल बना हुआ है, whether there is a door or whether there is a way. So people were very confused in that पैलेस, इट वाज वन ऑफ इट्स काइंड। और इंद्रप्रस्थ और खांडवप्रस्थ का बेटा नाम बदल के इंद्रप्रस्थ कर दिया गया। ओके, एंड दैट इज द करेंट सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली। दिल्ली का ही एक नाम इंद्रप्रस्थ है आज भी, वो पुराना नाम हो गया लेकिन आज भी उसको इंद्रप्रस्थ कह के एक एरिया को बुलाते हैं। तो उसका नाम इंद्रप्रस्थ रखा गया। इंद्रप्रस्थ इसलिए रखा गया था क्योंकि इंद्र खुद वहां प्रस्थान किए थे। इंद्र खुद, इंद्र हैज हिमसेल्फ कम टू ब्लेस द सिटी ऑफ खांडवप्रस्थ, एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट इज नेम्ड एज इंद्रप्रस्थ। And Indra also gave Gandiv to Arjun. Gandiv is the name of the weapon which Arjun has used extensively in Mahabharat. Okay, वो अर्जुन का मेन वेपन था गांडीव धनुष। Okay, the bow and the arrow. And he has also given, Maya has given Devdutt to Krishna. What is Devdutt? Devdutt is like a sank. It's like a conch shell to Krishna. तो कृष्णा का बेटा जो शंख का नाम था उसका नाम था देवदत्त। ओके, वो माया ने उनको उस समय दिया था। नाउ सो ये जो उन्होंने जो पैलेस बनाया था, इंद्रप्रस्थ का जो पैलेस था वो इतना ज्यादा मैग्निफिशेंट था। अगर आप ये वाली फोटो देखोगे बेटा तो देखिए ये छोटे 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 आदमी दिख रहे हैं आपको। इट्स लाइक सो ह्यूज पैलेस। इट्स वन ऑफ द रिचेस्ट पैलेस ऑफ इंडिया, ऑफ भारतवर्ष। एंड द सिटी फ्लरिश्ड under the king of Yudhishthir. Yudhishthir became the king of this Indraprastha. Okay, and everything was going in the right direction. It was going in the right way. Okay, so this is the city of Indraprastha. Now we can proceed with our so जब उनको बेटा इंद्रप्रस्थ का जो सिटी था, उनको जब उसका इनॉग्रेशन करना था तो they have invited all the different kings. बिकॉज एज हम जैसे आज हम लोग बेटा हाउस वार्मिंग करते हैं ना, तो हम अपने फ्रेंड्स को इनवाइट करते हैं। ऐसे जब पहले के राजा लोग जब अपना किंगडम का इनॉग्रेशन करते थे, दे यूज्ड टू इनवाइट ऑल द नोबल, ऑल द किंग्स, ऑल द मेन पीपल ऑफ द कंप्लीट भारतवर्ष। ओके, एंड व्हेन दे डिड इट, एवरीबॉडी केम इंक्लूडिंग दुर्योधन। ओके, सो व्हेन दुर्योधन केम, he was very very surprised to see that what the Pandavas had made out of the jungle. जहां पे पहले जंगल हुआ करता था वहां पे उन्होंने एक बहुत ही अच्छा मैग्निफिशिएंट सिटी इस्टेब्लिश कर दिया। एंड एवरीबडी इज मूविंग टू दिस न्यू सिटी एज अ न्यू प्लेस टू बी। ओके, एंड नॉट ओनली दिस, देयर होल पैलेस इज लाइक अ ड्रीम फॉर दुर्योधन। इज लाइक कि हस्तिनापुर का जो पैलेस था वो इसके सामने बहुत लो हो गया था। ये बहुत ही हाई, इट्स अ मैजिकल पैलेस altogether. And Duryodhana was filled with envy. He is filled with jealousy, and he wanted the same kingdom for himself. Okay, and what happened when Duryodhana was walking in the palace? जैसा मैंने आपको बताया था बेटा, पैलेस इतना अच्छा बनाया गया था कि अगर आगे पानी भी रखा हो तो लोगों को दिखेगा नहीं कि वो पानी, वो ऐसा लगेगा कि वो वहां पे फर्श है, वहां पे फ्लोर है। Okay, and Duryodhan couldn't recognize when the floor ended and when the water started, and he fallen down in the makeshift pond. वहां पे जो एक वाटर जो फव्वारा था वो उसमें गिर गया दुर्योधन। ओके, and when he fallen down, everybody sort of started laughing, and Draupadi, who is the wife of all the five Pandavas, she also laughed at him, and she passed a comment that look at the blind son of the blind father. Why? Because his father was also blind, Dhritarashtra. Okay, and Duryodhan was very very angry. He was very frustrated, like he was very frustrated, agony and angry, that he was very um, angry. Why did Draupadi, as a, because as of a tradition, she shouldn't have laughed first of all. Even today, like, no, if somebody falls, nobody should laugh, right? I mean, people should go and help the person to get out of when he falls down. But what she did wrong was that first she laughed, and then she passed a very bad comment. She passed a very bad comment, and Duryodhan was full of angry, jealousy, hatred, everything, and he vowed that one day he will take his revenge and he will disrespect Draupadi in front of everyone, the way that she has disrespected him in front of everyone. ठीक है? सो जैसे कि द्रौपदी ने उसका मजाक उड़ाया है सब लोगों के सामने, ऐसे ही एक दिन दुर्योधन उसका भी मजाक उड़ाएगा। ठीक है, तो ये दुर्योधन ने वहां पे वचन लिया। ओके, एनी क्वेश्चन बेटा? वी आर गुड, कैन आई गो प्रोसीड? Okay, okay, then proceed. Okay, so the next thing happened beta, जहाँ पे सुभद्रा is the sister of बलराम। बलराम का बेटा बारे में हमने आपको बताया था जब कृष्णा की क्लास की थी पिछले बार, तो I told you about बलराम. So Balram is the incarnation of Sheshnag himself, and he is the brother uh, of Krishna. Okay, the cousin brother of Krishna. Okay, so Balram की बेटा जो daughter थी वो थी Subhadra, and Subhadra is fallen in love with Arjun, and she wanted to marry Arjun. Okay, but Balram was getting her married to someone else. Okay, and that's when she called Arjun to protect her and to take her with him. And it is a Kshatriya dharma that when someone asks for help, the person should go and help the other person. Okay. So what happened when she was getting married on the same day, Arjuna abducted her and took her away under the nose of the king. Okay. And she herself drove the horse because she wanted to get away from that marriage herself. Okay, she drove the horse herself, and Arjuna replied to all the people who were running after the chariot. He was fighting with everyone. Okay, and when she was, because Arjuna took her away from the marriage, he has to then marry her, and which he did. Arjuna married Subhadra and took her to Hastinapur. अब जब बेटा वो हस्तिनापुर गए थे तब वहां पर एक प्रॉब्लम आया था, क्योंकि द्रौपदी ने एक कंडीशन रखी थी कि सॉरी नॉट हस्तिनापुर, इंद्रप्रस्थ। सो द्रौपदी ने एक कंडीशन रखी थी कि इंद्रप्रस्थ में सिर्फ द्रौपदी ही एक रानी होगी, देयर कैन नॉट बी नो अदर वुमेन एज अ क्वीन। ओके, सो सुभद्रा वेंट देयर as a servant lady, and she said to Draupadi that many people are after my husband and they want to kill him, and I have run away from my father's house. So can I take sort of a refugee in your kingdom, in your palace, and live over here? So Draupadi said, obviously you can live over here and I give you my word. So Draupadi has given her words to Subhadra. And then Subhadra revealed her identity. और सुभद्रा ने बताया द्रौपदी को कि एक्चुअली मेरे हस्बैंड अर्जुन है और मैं अपने फादर के यहाँ से ही भाग कर आई हूँ. So Draupadi know that she has been tricked, but now she has already given her words, so she cannot go back on her words. So she allowed Subhadra to live in the palace. So both Subhadra and Draupadi, they both lived in Indraprasth. Okay. And Balram was very angry when he heard that Subhadra was taken away by Arjun. So Balram was very angry at that point in time. He wanted to go and kill Arjun. Okay, but Krishna told Balram that you have to be mindful of the dharma, because Subhadra went by herself with Arjun. Okay, she didn't like Arjun didn't kidnapped her. She went by herself, and you have to respect it. Okay, so Balram let her go then. Okay, okay, so that's good. Next point, the Upapandavas. The Upapandavas are the 5 sons of Draupadi. Okay, from the 5 Pandavas. Okay बेटा, तो युधिष्ठिर के जो बेटे थे उनका नाम था प्रतिविंध्या. From Bhim it is Sutosoma. From Arjun Shrutarma. From Nakul it is Satanika, and from Sahdev Shrutasena. ओके बेटा, तो ये जो 5 पांडवास के 5 सन्स हुए, they were known as Upapandav. And during the battle of Kurukshetra, which will I'll tell you later, These all were killed by Ashwathama. Okay, that's because Ashwathama wanted to take revenge of his father's death. So he killed all the Upapandavas by mistake when they were sleeping. उसने सोचा कि ये पांचों पांडव सो रहे हैं बेटा, और उसने इन सब लोगों का वध कर दिया था. Okay, we'll come to that story later. For the time being, you just need to know that who are the Upapandavas. So all the 5 Upapandavas were the children of all the 5 Pandavas. Okay. और जो बेटा सुभद्रा थी, Subhadra has a child with Arjun and his name was Abhimanyu. Okay. आप लोग को समझ में आ रहा है बेटा?
Yes.
Are you understanding everything?
Yes.
Okay. Good बेटा.
Yes.
कोई भी बेटा आप लोग को क्वेश्चन होगा तो आप पूछ लेना. ओके, जस्ट टेल मी, unmute yourself and ask me. Okay. Okay. So हम अब आगे प्रोसीड कर सकते हैं. Okay बेटा, there's a story in Mahabharat where Arjun and Krishna, they came face to face. They were almost started to ready to kill each other. And what is this very interesting story? This interesting story is about that in Mathura, in Dwarka, because Krishna has now moved from Mathura to Dwarka. So in Dwarka, Krishna was doing the sun worship, and there was a bird by the name of Gaya. जो बर्ड का नाम था बेटा वो गया था. ओके, एंड the bird peed on Krishna and it fell on the Krishna when he was doing the puja. So Krishna was very angry and he said that whoever has done this has to die right now. And Gaya, the bird name was Gaya. So Gaya was very frightened because it happened by mistake, and it happened to fell on Krishna, and Krishna was furious about it. So it ran here and there, and Krishna began chasing Gaya. So running from Dwarka, Gaya came to Indrastha, and he came to Subhadra. Okay, and he fell on the feet of Subhadra and requested her to save his life because there is a warrior who is chasing him and he will kill him because of the innocent mistake that Gaya has done. Okay, अब सुभद्रा ने उसको बोला कि whoever that Kshatriya be, I don't care. My husband, who is Arjuna, right? My husband is the highest level, like he's the biggest Kshatriya living on the land. I give you the word that he will protect you. Okay. Now, when Krishna came at the doors of the Indraprastha palace and he shouted, Gaya, come out, you cannot escape me. You have to be killed. Okay. Then Subhadra came to know that Kshatriya is nobody else but his own brother Krishna, and she then tell her his brother, then tell her brother, sorry, कि भैया प्लीज आप इसको माफ कर दीजिए, प्लीज फॉरगिव हिम बिकॉज I have already given my word to him, and whatever has happened by mistake. It didn't happen intentionally. But Krishna said that I have already given my word. Now he has to die. There is no way that he can be protected. Now, because Subhadra has given his words, Arjun has to come and has to protect Gaya, the bird, because the dharma says that a Kshatriya has to protect whoever has come in their refuse. कोई भी अगर आपसे हेल्प मांगता है बेटा, और अगर आप क्षत्रिय धर्म, उस समय बेटा कई सारे धर्म निभाए जाते थे, आज की बात नहीं है. तो जैसे ब्राह्मण के अलग धर्म होते थे, क्षत्रियों के अलग धर्म होते थे, वैश्य के अलग धर्म होते थे, इन सबके रूल्स ऑफ कंडक्ट होते थे. ये अगर नहीं फॉलो करेंगे देन दे वोंट बी कंसिडर्ड एज वन ऑफ देयर ओन. ओके, सो क्षत्रिय का सबसे बड़ा धर्म यही होता था कि कोई भी जो उनकी सहायता मांगेगा, जो उनको पुकारेगा, उन्हें जाना पड़ेगा उसकी सहायता करने के लिए. तो अर्जुन को अब उसको बचाना ही था, गया को बचाना ही था अर्जुन को, कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं था. तो what happened is that Arjun told Krishna that if that be, then you have to fight me. And Arjun has the Gandiv in his hand, and Krishna has the Sudarshan Chakra. The whole universe came to a standstill, because if Arjun and Krishna are going to fight each other, it is the same as Nar and Narayan are fighting with each other. Why the Nar and Narayan? Because अर्जुन और कृष्णा कोई और नहीं, अपने दूसरे जन्म में, अपने प्रीवियस जन्म में, अपने ओरिजिनल फॉर्म में, दे आर द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ नर एंड नारायण. द नर एंड नारायण आर ब्रदर्स हु हैव टुगेदर defeated the whole demons, like thousands of demons together, and they have come multiple times on this earth to restore dharma. And this time they have come during the Mahabharat time to restore the dharma once again. Okay, so Arjun और कृष्णा जब आमने सामने आ गए, and it was inevitable that something big will happen. The whole universe can't sustain if these two people will fight each other. Okay, and this war has to be stopped. It's said that the Brahma ji came in between, and he said that there is a way that we can resolve this problem, that both of you can keep your own promises. आपने जो प्रॉमिस किया है वो भी पूरा होगा, और जो अर्जुन ने प्रॉमिस किया है वो भी पूरा होगा. So he told Arjun that keep your Gandiv down, let Gaya be killed by Krishna, and once Gaya be killed, I give you my word that I will again make Gaya, I will again give put back life in Gaya. मैं गया को फिर से जिंदा कर दूंगा. तो उससे क्या होगा कि कृष्ण की बात भी खाली नहीं जाएगी, और जो अर्जुन की बात थी वो भी खाली नहीं जाएगी. Okay, so Arjun understood the gravity of the situation, and he lowered his Gandiv, and Krishna killed Gaya, and then again gave birth to him, like again put life back on the bird. And so Gaya was protected by the world that Subhadra gave to him. Okay, and and that is the story behind how a great war has been averted. Okay, ओके बेटा. अब एक यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट एक और स्टोरी है महाभारत में, जरासंध. जरासंध की बेटा आप लोगों को याद है, मैंने बात किया था, हम लोग ने प्रीवियस क्लास में, आपको याद है जब कंस मारा गया था, व्हेन कंस डाइड इन आवर लास्ट क्लास, जब हम लोग कृष्णा की पूरी बात की थी, तो उसमें जो कृष्णा के जो फादर इन लॉ थे, that was Jarasandh, and Jarasandh was furious that Krishna killed Kansa. So Jarasandh he took a vow to eliminate Krishna and all the Yadavas, and he attacked Mathura 17 times. All the 17 times he was defeated by Krishna and Balram, but on the 18th time Krishna and Balram and all the Yadavas, they eloped, they ran away from Mathura and they came to Dwarka. Okay, so that is the story which we covered the last time. Okay, and that is why Krishna is also known as Ranchhor Rai. Ranchhor Rai means one who leaves the battle and runs away. Okay, and why did Krishna run away? Because for Krishna, it was not about dharma, it was about Leela. It is important for Krishna to leave Mathura anyways. So he don't want to protect anything for the sake of it, because he knows the other things which are going to come in future. He knows that this is the right time to let it go, and he let Mathura fall, and Jarasandh take the possession of Mathura, and the whole city of Mathura was burned in the night. I told you that story. Okay, so everybody assumed that Krishna is died anyways. So Krishna was good and he also escaped, so that's another story. Okay. So now what happened? Krishna has 5 very powerful allies with him, all the 5 Pandavas. And Yudhishthir, after he became the king of Indrastha, he wanted to become the Chakravarti Raja. Okay. And before he could have done that, there is one very powerful king he should defeat. And that one powerful king was none other than Jarasandha. Jarasandha was the king of Magad. Okay, and he was so powerful that nobody can kill Jarasandha. He was given a boon by the god himself, that actually Jarasandha has a little bit of story and a little bit of history. When Jarasandha was born, before Jarasandha was born, actually, a rishi came and gave a mango to the king, that go and give it to your queen, so that the son that you will have, that will be the most powerful son and nobody can defeat him. Okay, but what the king did, because he has two queens, he gave half mango to one queen and half mango to another queen. Okay, and because दोनों क्वींस को हाफ हाफ मैंगो मिला, दोनों क्वींस को हाफ बेबीज हुए. Now don't ask me how, this is a story. Okay, as I told many things, बेटा आप स्टोरी की तरह एंजॉय करो, डोंट थिंक टू मच अबाउट इट कि हाफ बेबी कैसे हो सकते हैं. ओके, एनीवेज, सो द स्टोरी गोज लाइक दिस कि दोनों क्वींस को हाफ हाफ बेबी हुए, एंड देन द ऋषि केम बैक अगेन एंड ही ज्वाइंड both the babies together and put life in both the babies. Okay, so both the different body parts, they became one, and Jarasandh was born. Okay, so that's the quick story. Now Krishna has a plan. Jarasandh is the almost became a very bad king, because he used to kill everybody, and he was just like a Kansa. Okay, and his rule was not good. So what to before Yudhishthir can become a Chakravarti Raja, Krishna told Yudhishthir, you need to go to Jarasandh, like Arjun, Bhim, and Krishna. All three of them, they went to Jarasandh, and they asked Jarasandh. And as the tradition was, whenever a Brahman comes to the king asks the Brahma, "What do you want?" Like, okay, and then the Brahma can ask for whatever they want. They want, if they want a cow, or if they want a piece of land, or they want a ashram, they can ask from the king. But in this case, what they asked Jarasandh, they asked that they want to have a duel with Jarasandh. Duel means हाथ से पकड़ के लड़ाई करना. Okay, उन्होंने बोला कि हम आपसे हाथ हाथ पकड़ के लड़ाई करना चाहते हैं, आप हम तीनों में से किसी को चूज कर लीजिए. तो जरासंध समझ गया. वो बोला कि इसका मतलब कि आप ब्राह्मण नहीं है, आप क्षत्रिय हैं, क्योंकि ब्राह्मण तो ऐसी भाषा नहीं बोलते कि हम आपसे लड़ना चाहते हैं, आप मतलब क्षत्रिय हो. ओके, और तुम जरूर कृष्ण हो, बिकॉज I can see that your eyes are very naughty, and you are, I know that you are Krishna, and I know that the other person is Arjun, and the other one is a Bhim, the one who is very well built is a Bhim. So he said that Krishna and Arjun are not his worthy opponent, because वो लोग तो उतने बलशाली दिखने में नहीं थे. They are not so much strong to look at, and so he want to have a fight with Bhim. He said, I will have a fight with Bhim. Okay, so they started to fight, and the fight went on for many days. Bhim and Jarasandh, they both were very powerful. Okay, at so Bhim was not winning this war, and so Krishna told him that you have to split him in two. You have to split Jarasandh from hold his leg and split his body. Only then he is going to die, because of the same story. When he was born, he was joined from his legs to the whole body, so he will die the same way. So you look, Krishna was giving a signal to Bhim that you have to tear him apart in the photo. And then Bhim tore Jarasandh apart. However, to everybody's amazement, everybody was very surprised when what happened. Both the body parts, they came back together and they joined again. And then again the war started. And nobody was expecting that to happen. Okay. So again the war went on for many days. Now Krishna told that you have not only to tear him apart, but you have to throw him in two different directions. The left leg on the right direction and the right leg in the left direction. And when that happened, when Bhima did that, that brought the end and the death of Jarasandha. Okay, and with his death, Yudhishthir became the Chakravarti Samrat. Okay, बेटा, ये वाली स्टोरी आपको अच्छी लगी? How did the death of Jarasandh happened? Did you have any question?
No.
क्या बात है, आज बड़े चुप हो सब लोग, स्टोरी समझ में नहीं आ रही क्या आप लोग को? सर्वांग, सर्वांग, आर्यन, वैष्णवी, आप लोग को स्टोरी समझ में आ रही है कि नहीं?
Yes.
Are you interested?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, बेटा. नायशा?
Yes.
Okay, बेटा, आप लोग को कोई क्वेश्चन होगा तो आप लोग पूछ लेना. ओके?
Okay.
Okay. So let's proceed now. अब शिशुपाल की बारी आई. अब बेटा शिशुपाल कौन था? तो शिशुपाल was actually the cousin of Krishna. Okay, and Shishupal was very annoyed with Krishna because Shishupal wanted to marry Rukmani, and Krishna stole. I told you in the story of Krishna the last time that Krishna stole Rukmani and married Rukmani as his wife. Okay, so Shishupal was very angry and he wanted to take that kind of a revenge with him. Okay, so Shishupal, when Shishupal was born, there was a oracle foretelling that Shishupal, he will be killed by his own cousin Krishna. So Shishupal's mother, she was very frightened, and she came to Krishna and she wanted a vow out of Krishna that he will never kill Shishupal. So Krishna at that time said that I give you my words, mother, that I will forgive his 100 mistakes. मैं शिशुपाल की 100 मिस्टेक्स को माफ कर दूंगा, लेकिन अगर उसने 101st मिस्टेक की, he will be killed then and there by me. Okay, now what happened when the Yudhishthir was just getting when I told you, right, Yudhishthir invited all the kings when he was inaugurating his kingdom of Indrastha. Shishupal also came, and Arjun was made the guest of honor in that particular function in inauguration. So Shishupal was very angry and he started hurling abuses on Krishna. He said that how did this person deserve to become a guest of honor? This person who has run away from the war, this person who has abducted the woman, this person who is not the king, how can he become the guest of honor? And he started abusing Krishna himself. So everybody, they ran towards Shishupal to stop him, but Krishna said, "Wait, this is between Shishupal and me. Let Shishupal say whatever he want to say." And Shishupal continued uh, saying bad words to Krishna. Okay, and when the 100 words of Shishupal was said, Krishna stopped him. He said, "Shishupal, I am now warning you. One more word you said, and by saying that the Krishna ने अपना सुदर्शन चक्र स्टार्ट कर दिया and शिशुपाल की गर्दन वहीं पे कट गई. So the story of Shishupal is over then and there, and Krishna kept his word which he gave to his mother, is that he is going to forgive him for 100 times but no more. Okay, तो बेटा ये स्टोरी इसलिए भी इम्पोर्टेंट है क्योंकि आज भी हम लोग इसका रेफरेंस देते हैं हिंदुइज्म में और बोलते हैं कि इवन कृष्णा ने शिशुपाल की 100 गलतियां स्वीकार की, लेकिन उससे ज़्यादा नहीं. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि आपकी सहनशीलता और आपकी अच्छाई का भी एक लिमिट होना चाहिए, नहीं तो वही आपकी कमजोरी मानी जाएगी और सामने वाला विल टेक यू फॉर ग्रांटेड. ओके, सो दैट्स द स्टोरी ऑफ शिशुपाल. Okay, now let's proceed to a very important topic where we are introducing Shakuni to you. And Shakuni beta, he was a character in Mahabharat who has played a very pivotal role of instigating दुर्योधन. इंस्टिगेटिंग दुर्योधन का मतलब है जिसने हमेशा दुर्योधन को गलत एडवाइस दी, जानबूझ के गलत एडवाइस दी कि दुर्योधन वो उस लड़ाई से जो लड़ाई जो उसको नहीं करनी चाहिए थी, या जो अंदर जो उसके इतना हेट्रेडनेस और इतनी ग्रीडनेस थी, वो उसको हमेशा उकसाता रहा. तो शकुनी जो था, he was a brother of दुर्योधन mother of Gandhari, and so he is also known as Sakuni Mama or Mama Sakuni. Okay, so Sakuni used to live in the same household. वो वहीं पैलेस में रहता था, और Sakuni used to always ill advise दुर्योधन to do things which he should not do. वो हमेशा दुर्योधन की उस वीकनेस का बेनिफिट उठाता था, because दुर्योधन was short tempered. He has his own problems with his brothers, and he was very hating them. So he always used he has used those qualities of Duryodhan to give him wrong advices. Okay. Now, why does Sakuni does that also has a story. तो शकुनी बेटा, जो उनके शकुनी के जो फादर थे, his name was Shuvala, and he was a king of kingdom of Shuvala. Okay, so Shuvala was kidnapped or was taken into custody by Bhishma, and when he was taken into custody by Bhishma, Shuvala and his sons were put behind the bars. उनको जेल में बंद कर दिया गया, और उनको सिर्फ पूरे दिन में पूरे परिवार को सिर्फ एक मुट्ठी चावल मिलता था खाने के लिए, so that they don't live, either they don't live or they don't die. Okay, so ये करने के लिए Shuvala, who knew that anyways both his family and all his children are going to die. Okay, so Shuvala said that one of them should live to take the revenge on the Kuru clan. On the Kuru clan, which means that they should take and destroy the complete family of Bhishma. So the one kid who was the youngest of them, Shakuni, he was chosen one as the most intelligent, and he was given the task to take that revenge. तो शकुनी के जो फादर थे शुआला, उन्होंने बोला कि बेटा शकुनी, आप तुम ये जो एक मुट्ठी जो चावल मिलता है वो तुम ही खाओगे, and you have to remember that all your brothers, they died, including your father, and you are the one who has to take the revenge for all of them on their behalf. And so that you do remember it, Sakuni's father even broke his leg. He always used to walk limping, he has to limp and walk, and he broke his leg so that he can remember every time, each day, each moment, that his own objective of living is to take that revenge. Okay, so Shakuni has a very sinister, I would say, objective in his mind, and he was using Duryodhana as a tool to make sure that that objective is fulfilled, is met. तो शकुनी ने दुर्योधन को अपना एक वो बनाया, दाव बनाया, ताकि वो उसको उसके थ्रू वो कुरु क्लैन को बिल्कुल बर्बाद कर सके. नाउ जब दुर्योधन वापस आए वहां से, when he came back from the Indrastha, Duryodhan was all full of envy, jealousy, and all other things, and he wanted a solution as to how he is going to defeat the Pandavas and take their kingdom. More so that he has now been insulted by Draupadi. So Shakuni used this as an opportunity, and Shakuni ने ये बोला कि ऐसा हम लोग कर सकते हैं, लेकिन for that Duryodhan has to ask his father Drishtraashtra to invite Yudhishthir for a game of dice. Okay बेटा, आप लोग जो फोटो देख रहे हो यहाँ पे, ये गेम ऑफ डाइस है जो पहले खेलते थे. इसमें the person has to call out a number. Okay, and once the number comes same as what he has predicted, he actually wins that particular moment, that particular game. And Shakuni was the expert in that game. and the dice were made of his own father's bone. Okay, so that he can win all the games. So he has that kind of a boon that he was going to be the expert and is going to win all the games that he played using the dice of his father's bone. So now that they did invited, Yudhishthir and all his brothers to play the game of dice, which you see over here, and Yudhishthir accepted the invitation because he has to accept it, because in the old times it was the dharma that the people have to accept if they are being invited to do anything. Okay, so once they started playing the game, the have to put something uh, as a wager. उनको कुछ बेटा दाव पे लगाना पड़ता है उस पर्टिकुलर गेम के लिए। तो पहले तो उन्होंने छोटे छोटे लगाने स्टार्ट किए, जैसे कि cows, horse, some of their weapons, and so on and so forth. But as the game proceeded, Yudhishthir kept on defeated, and he kept on losing, and then he started putting everything that he has as a wager, as a वो सब कुछ दाव पे लगाने लगे, including his brothers, including one of all of his brothers, including all his wealth, including all his possessions, including Indraprasth, and then at last he put himself as the wager. युधिष्ठिर ने अपने आप को भी दाव पे लगा दिया, and Yudhishthir kept on being defeated in each and every moment. और युधिष्ठिर सब कुछ हार गए. Okay, now सब कुछ जब युधिष्ठिर हार गए, then he did something as an unthinkable. He, in the last moment on the 17th game, he put Draupadi as the joint possession of the 5 brothers. He has put Draupadi as a wager. उन्होंने अपने पत्नी द्रौपदी को भी दांव पे लगाया और उसको भी हार गए. Okay, now this is something which turned the whole scenario, and everybody was looking in the court, and anybody couldn't say anything because Yudhishthir was a king in his own right, and he has all the and nobody can advise him what to do and what not to do. And it was with the dharma that the game is being played. He was putting and defeating everything in that game. Okay, all the brothers, they tried to stop Yudhishthir, but Yudhishthir just couldn't be stopped. Okay, and then he lost everything, which means that all the 5 brothers, they became the slave of Duryodhan. They lost everything. They became the slave of Duryodhan, including Draupadi. Okay, and then it is Duryodhan that he wanted to avenge his humiliation and insult that he faced in Indraprastha by Draupadi. याद आपको जब मैंने बोला था कि द्रौपदी उस पर हंसी थी और दुर्योधन ने बोला था कि एक दिन वो भरी सभा में द्रौपदी से बदला लेगा. And now that Duryodhan knew that Draupadi has become his slave, right? So द्रौपदी भी उसकी अब एक नौकरानी ही बन गई थी. तो उसने आदेश दिया अपने छोटे भाई दुशासन को कि दुशासन जाओ और द्रौपदी को पूरी सभा में बालों से खींच के लाओ. And everybody was stunned because Dushasana went and he brought Draupadi by the hair. He pulled Draupadi by the hair and brought her in the main courtroom. Okay, and then Draupadi was crying, wailing, and shouting for help, but nobody helped her. All the 5 brothers, they couldn't, because they all became the slave of Duryodhan. They could have done only if what, and if Duryodhan has ordered them, not otherwise. Okay, so Draupadi was all alone, and she also became the laughing stock in the full courtroom. Then something unthinkable happened in the courtroom, and the Duryodhan ordered Dusasan and all the five brothers to, like Draupadi and all the five brothers, to take their clothes because they are the slaves of uh, दुर्योधन नाउ. So as you can see, पांचों जो पांडव थे यहाँ पे आप देखिए बेटा, सब लोगों ने अपने कपड़े उतार दिए, उनकी बेइज्जती पूरी की दुर्योधन ने. And he also ordered Draupadi to take off her sari. Obviously that she cannot do that, Dushoshan started pulling the sari in the full courtroom. And then Draupadi, seeing that nobody is helping her, she called the god himself. That's the last resort that was left for Draupadi. And the god himself, in the form of Krishna, he came and he gave all the sari to Draupadi. So दुशासन साड़ी उतारता रहा. अब भगवान वहां से उनको साड़ी देते रहे, दुशासन नहीं उतार पाए. तो इस तरह से भगवान ने खुद द्रौपदी की इज्जत रखी और उनकी इज्जत बचाई. ओके. एंड when this happened, the whole kingdom saw that, the whole courtroom saw that, and they lowered their eyes in shame. And then Draupadi shouted, and she was about to give the uh, वो खुद महाराज को और दुर्योधन को श्राप देने वाली थी. तभी धृतराष्ट्र ने बोला, ये मुझसे बहुत बड़ी गलती हो गई, ये सब मेरे आंखों के सामने कैसे हो गया, मैं इसको रोक नहीं पाया. अब द्रौपदी तुम जो भी चाहो तुम मांग लो, मैं तुम्हें दूंगा. Then द्रौपदी said, हे महाराज, अगर आपको देना है तो आप पांचों पांडवों को और उन्होंने जो लूज किया है वो सब वापस करें, ताकि हम लोग जाके वापस आराम से रह सकें. And then Dhritarashtra said, so be it. तुम लोग आराम से जाओ और अपना रहो, इस सबको खत्म करो. And then as they were leaving, Karna said, look at the 5 loser Pandavas. They were today saved by a woman. And what they got back is not what they deserved. They already lost it, but what they got today is like a charity. Okay. And so uh, why can't we have one final game where they can get everything what they have lost, not as a charity, but win back everything what they have lost and go back with the dignity and respect. At that one last moment, Yudhishthir again said that what if we are lost? What if we lose that game as well? And then Duryodhan said that if you lose that one last game, you will have to go to exile for 12 years. And on the 13th year, if we find you, if we recognize you, then you have to